How are we doing, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a new player's guide to Corsair. Nothing too in-depth. We're just going to go over a couple of the main skills you want to pick up, skills you want to be using when grinding. We'll go through a couple of the skill add-ons, and we'll touch a little bit on PvP, but nothing too heavy. So without any further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so now we're going to start with the skill build. These are the most important skills you're going to need to be able to grind those low-level areas to get those skill points. So places like mainly polys are the ones I'm talking about, but Fogas and Nagas also count. That's a really good spot for you guys to be before you hit level 58, because I would not recommend coming to polys until you are 58 so you can level up these skills to a high enough levels where they're useful. So Succession, make sure you unlock that. Then we're going to get the Tidal Slash here to max. I think that's 57 for that one. Next one here is going to be Wavepoint. We'll take that to max as well, 57 for that. You will get the absolute as soon as you hit 60, but I'm just not going to get it for now, just to show you guys, you can use this without being level 60. Ocean's Pearl, so we're going to get the first level of Prime, because again, that's level 58. As soon as you are 60, you're going to max this out as well. Really important skill. Overflow is really good, but we're not going to grab this one yet. We'll come back to it. And then we're going to come down and just make sure you max out your movement skills. So those are these ones here, so you can get around a lot faster. So as you can see, this is a very cheap skill build, coming in at less than 300 skill points. So you'll easily have this. And I'll show you guys how you can use this skill to clear at polys if you do the right rotations. So before we get into that polys, these are the skill add-ons you want to grab. Obviously, some of these skills we haven't unlocked yet, but these skill add-ons is literally just for low-level grinding to make your lives a bit easier. Tidal Slash is one we're going to be spamming a lot, so we've got to move the speed on that. And then everything else is just attack speed, so we've always got the attack speed buff up, and instant recovery of MP, so we don't have to rely on those mana pots too much. Like I said, this is just for the low level spots. You'll be scrapping this as soon as you're finished with your skill point grind. And if you feel like you need to squeeze out a little bit of extra damage, do feel free to replace some of the attack speed or recoveries with monster AP and crit hit rate and crit damage. You could definitely do that to boost your damage, but I'll see you guys at polys. So here we are at polys. Now, just to quickly show you guys, I've still got the same skill build that I went through in the video. And here is my equipment that I'm going to be using. So I've got 206 AP. I would recommend you being level 58 with around 200 AP plus when you come to polys. That's when you can really efficiently grind the spot. That's the gear you need to grind it efficiently, but it is up to you to get a nice rotation of mobs down and how you're going to go through your skills. So I'll be showing you how I'm doing it, and then just either copy that or just edit it to how you want to do it. But I'll show you guys how efficient I can be. Now, these are all the EXP buffs. I'm going to go through this just a sec that we will be using once you are efficient at grinding. So don't just come to polys and pop these straight away. You'll wait until you're really good at grinding, you know what you're doing, and then you're going to pop them. So these ones you're just going to be getting as rewards during the season event, during seasons. If you're not in seasons, then don't worry about it. You don't need to pop it. Simple Cron Meal, just buy these from the central market. Book of Combat, you should get one of these from seasons. If you don't have it, then you won't pop it. So Mercenary Skill and Mercenary Experience, you can claim these every single day. So on reset every day, if you go to Character, My Info, bump it over to this present icon, and then come here to Rewards. At the very top, you'll have a choice of 4 different EXP scrolls to pick up. Make sure you pick up the ones that give either 30% skill points or 200% EXP. I'd recommend focusing on the EXP because you will get to the skill points that you need a lot faster than you're going to get to the level that you want to be, and that level is 63. It is a bit of a marathon to 63. That's why these are just going to be a bit more valuable in the long run. But if you've been playing for a while, you can stockpile on both, which is what I've been doing. So there's that. I'll show you what you're going to do with it in a minute as well. Then we got these combat scrolls, 530s. To get these, if you're a new player and you haven't collected them yet, come to shop, Pearl shop, come down to loyalties. sorry, not loyalties, come down to Black Spirit Pack, silver items, and then buy them for 530 silver. Very, very cheap. And then finally, Blessed Message Scrolls. PA gives this scroll out very regularly. And on top of that, I think you get some for the seasons. And also, if you are in seasons, you'll be popping your leveling aid box when doing the grinding. Now, for these two scrolls, what you can do if you come to processing and go to simple alchemy, if you plug in these scrolls, they'll actually turn into a super scroll, which I'll show you in just a minute. So 3 200% scrolls will turn into 1 600% EXP scroll. So this is really, really good for grinding. So every 3 days you can do that. But those are the buffs out of the way. I would recommend just popping the simple cron meal and maybe the alchemy stone for a little bit of boost in your damage. These two buffs here is just enough. And if you have picked up a tent, feel free to always be popping the skill point EXP experience buff. So come to here's Villa Scrolls and you always get the skill and experience buff. So those are the only buffs you're going to need. The skill and experience buff is optional. So as you can see here, we're going to do wave point. It's going to kill the mobs. Sometimes you'll miss one and make sure your pets are fed. Sometimes you'll miss one mob, that's fine. Don't worry about staying behind to kill all the mobs or pick up all the loot. The whole goal is just to keep moving and to keep grinding. So if some of them get left alive, don't worry yourself too much about it. So as you can see, with 206 AP, with the skill build that I've showed you, you can really easily and efficiently grind polys. It's just up to you to find a rotation that you can loop around in. So let me see if I can make a rotation here. I don't even know where I am, but you want to find a rotation that you can loop back around so you can close the circle. When you do that, and you find the perfect rotation where you're killing the packs on respawn, it's going to make it a lot easier for you guys to keep your grind spot. So if people come in and they notice that there's like no packs available, they're not going to try and grind there too much. So that's why you want to try and find a loop that once you come back to the beginning of the loop, all the mobs are just respawning. So over here, we're just over clearing a little bit, but that should give you a good enough example of how to use those skills. Okay, so now let's continue with the rest of the skills that you're going to want to pick up. Now, obviously, the skills that we've already been leveling up, make sure you max those out once you get to the right level. And then when that's done, the very first skill I'd level up next is going to be Overflow. And then after Overflow, I'd pick up, going wrong way, Storm Surge. And then after Storm Surge, I'd pick up the Whirling Slash, which will require you to do some things here. You might as well pick up the Absolute. Actually, this is not important. Wave Breaker is actually pretty bad, so you can pick that up pretty much last. It's a pretty useless skill. But with these skills you pick up, as you're leveling them up, so these skills that we've selected, make sure you're incorporating this into your grind, just so you're getting it in your muscle memory. Don't get too lazy and just keep using those 3 skills that I showed you earlier. Make sure you start just using all these skills that we're unlocking in your grind as well. So you can get used to the button inputs. That's really going to help you out later on. So that being said, let's continue with the skill build. And after this point, honestly, it's up to you what you want to get next. You've got the most important stuff. For me personally, for a mini PvP combo, I will pick up the Wave Lash, Crashing Wave. Where is it? Storming Gale. And if we don't get hit by a Polys mob. And the last skill, since we got interrupted, we're going to get the Flow Squall. So pick this one up. And this is just good if you do encounter a PvP. A good way to re-CC, if you catch someone, what you can do, after the catch is re-CC them with Prime Wave Slash. Then you just hold B, and then this is really, really good damage. So you're re-CCing them with a knockdown, which is your left trigger, right bumper. This skill here. Ooh. Then you hold B to do Storming Gale, and then once you do Storming Gale and you continue holding B, it flows into Crashing Wave, and then Crashing Wave flows into Squall, which is pretty good damage for PvP. So that's why I pick up those ones next. So you have some potential to kill people now. And then the rest of it is really, really optional. It's however you like to max it out. Me personally, I'd get Wipeout next because it's a pretty cool movement skill. I'll go through a cool cancel we can do with it just in a little bit later on when we talk about beginner PvP. And then I'd probably pick this one up for tier 3 add-ons, this one for tier 3 add-ons, this for movement, this one for just a little bit of damage. I think it's a guard break as well. So that's that. We can pick up the E-buff. I don't use this skill too much yet. Oh, sorry, no. This skill I do. I definitely would pick this one up. It's good for high-end grinding. And it can be useful for PvP combos as well. But it's not amazing because it doesn't cancel into too many skills. But there is one skill that it does cancel into that's useful. Whirlpool's the one that I'm not using too much yet. But it is a movement skill. And you can put an optional stun on it. If you're grinding a high-end spot, you probably don't want to put the stun on there so you don't CC the mobs when using the skill. But for PvP purposes, the stun is really, really useful. And then coming down here, you're just going to grab all your passives. And the last thing you're going to pick up is Wave Break. This is absolutely useless skill in my opinion. It's movement, I guess, so that's cool, but I would never use it in PvP. And the movement is good enough without it to get to pack really efficiently on this class. And then these ones here, these are more of your less useful skills, but you can max them out at the end. And then that's all your skill points. Okay, so let's get started on some of the basic PvP stuff. The first thing, let's talk about Corsair's main iframe. So it's called Skedaddle. After pretty much any skill, if you press A in any direction except forward, it will do Skedaddle's iframe. This is really, really powerful because it's quite long, as you can see there. Unfortunately, though, it does require you to use a skill first. It is a flow, this iframe. It's not an independent iframe you can activate on demand. So do keep that in mind. But once you get used to it, you can almost make it into an independent iframe if you're just using it properly in between your skills. But it's not quite that yet. Okay, so now let's talk about a couple of the cancels. So first one here, we got Ocean's Melancholy into Wave Pout. That's a pretty good cancel there. As soon as your back foot hits the ground after Melancholy, you can do Wave Pout. And again, you can do it with Whirlpool as well. So those are two good cancels from that. Unfortunately, it doesn't flow into any other skills that well. So if you try to do it into Tidal Slash, you see how it lingers at the end there before you go into Tidal Slash. It's not that great. Another really cool cancel is Wipeout into the Storm Surge. It's really good, but don't just keep spamming these two skills in that order all the time because it does become predictable if every time you go in the sky you do this. So use it sparingly, use Wipeout independently, use Surge independently a lot, and then every now and again, if your opponent's quite far away and he's not expecting it, you can hit him with the Surge. But you really do have to get the positioning of Surge right, because in PvP, it doesn't CC that well unless you're pretty close to your target. So that might CC your target in PvP, but you need to be even closer. So I haven't quite got used to the distance on this skill yet. Like that will definitely CC him, just landing behind him like that, or just landing on top of him or in front of him will also CC him, so this should get us in front. So that will CC in PvP too. So you do have to get the distance on that. I haven't quite figured out myself, so make sure you guys test it out a bit more, and I'll be paying more attention to it in my future engagements. But I'm not going to go too in-depth with anything else. I'm still learning the class myself, but hopefully these couple of tips and tricks will help you out there. But let's get into some combos. Okay, before we get into the combo section, let's quickly touch on the movement. There's some really easy, super protected movement that you can use on Corsair. So if you do double dash into iframe, into storming surge, into double dash, into iframe, into wipeout, into double dash, into iframe, into storming surge. You can just pretty much do this until you run out of stamina, and it will keep you safe. Another protected movement that you can throw in between these is this one here, the mermaid skill. You can cancel it before doing that last animation there as well. The only thing I'll say about the mermaid skill is you can use it as a catch, but it's kind of hard to do in a 1v1. I'd use it more as a disengage than anything else, because it doesn't get affected by slows. So if you are slowed, this is a really good one for you to use to try and get some distance away from your opponents. And obviously there's a lot of unprotected movement as well. So you got stuff like wave break, you got stuff like whirlpool. You have well slash that's unprotected at the end there. So you do have some other unprotected stuff that you can mix in between, but you need to be a little bit careful when doing that stuff. I suggest stick to the protected stuff for now, and then once you get more used to it, start sliding in some more erratic movement in between. Okay, so these are the skill add-ons I'm using to work with the combos I'm about to show you. Again, combos subject to change, so skill add-ons are also subject to change, but it's working pretty well for me so far. Alright, so now we're in the combo section of the video. I'm going to give you 5 combos that I've been using. I haven't PvP'd that much. I haven't spent too much time theory crafting and testing and all the other stuff. So these are just some combos that are working, but they might not be optimized. And also there's a lot of skills missing from the kit. So just use these for now, but just know they are definitely subject for change. And if you've got better combos, feel free to use those. But off an overflow catch, if we start with that one, we go into Tidal Slash, Raging Torrent, Storming Gale, Wave Pout, into Tide's Kiss, Ocean's Pearl, and then you finish with Wipeout. If you get the down smash on Wipeout, feel free to use Waving Slash, and then you can also continue holding B or F or circle, depending on what platform you want, to go back into the Storming Gale after the Wave Lash, and you can keep holding it to do Crashing Wave and Squall. But it's only a down smash. I don't think you're able to get these 2 skills off. But I haven't had the opportunity. Down smashes have not been proccing for me on this skill yet, and I've barely PvP'd, so I don't know quite how far you can go into that combo. But this is a very safe combo that's just going to guarantee you the CCs, and let's show you that in game. Okay, so as you saw, Tactical died before we got to wipe out the Shift Q. He's 334 DP and was kind enough to help me out here. He was using a Q to him as well, so thank you for Tactical for spending some time in the BA with me so I can hit some combos on him. Now, this combo underneath is the exact same as above. You're refloating with the same skill, a float. The only difference is over here, we're going for like more... This one here is a safe combo where you're ending in a super armor, and on top of that, this has the opportunity to down smash, which lets you extend a little bit. Now, this one, we're not going to end in a super armor. We're just going to go into a full unprotected chain. This does more damage if you don't get the down smash. The top one will do more damage if you get the down smash. So that's the difference between them. If you really want to go full tilt and just try and kill your opponent, you can hold this all the way to the end, but your opponent will be standing up by that point. So there's a very good chance if you haven't killed him, he's either going to CC you or grab you. But let's show you this combo. So now the last combo on this page has got the exact same start as the 2 combos above it, but now we're going into a knockdown combo instead of a, what's it called, a refloat combo. Now, after we do Storming Gale, we're going to go into Wave Lash, and then we'll do Storming Gale again because you can use it when it's on cooldown. So that flows into Crashing Wave, which flows into Squall, which you're then going to use Wipeout, and if you get the down smash here, you'll use Ocean's Pearl. Now, one thing is, again, if you don't want to go that way, you can just do Ocean's Pearl here after Squall. Ocean's Pearl is really good damage, so I might actually suggest doing that. But again, if you don't have enough AP, you need to squeeze out a bit more. You'll do a bit less damage here, but if you get the down smash, you can squeeze more damage with the Ocean's Pearl. But let's show you that in game. Okay, so we've got the last two combos here. Now, you might have actually noticed, instead of using Ocean's Pearl there, I use this skill here, Wave Pout on the float. I mean, that still works too, but I think Ocean's Pearl might squeeze a bit more damage out. Hard to say because he was already dead. But on to the second final one. Now, if you catch someone with the Storming Surge, you can go back through them using Ocean's Melancholy, reattach them with Whirlpool, use the Storming Gale for the 10 AP buff, and then refloat them with the what's it called? The Wave Power into Tide's Kiss Flow. And then you're going to hit them with Ocean's Pearl. If that happens, you can attempt to down smash with Q your overflow, and if the overflow also goes through with the down smash, you'll then try to down smash them again with Wipeout, and then if that happens, go ahead and try and do the knockdown afterwards. This is a float double down smash, so you're not going to be able to reset the combo, but go ahead and use Wave Lash and hold B to do Crashing Wave or Storming Gale, Crashing Wave, Squall. Obviously, stop using the skills when your opponent's standing up, so he doesn't CC you back if he's not dead, but let's show you that in game. Alright, here we are with my final combo. Now, this is a theory combo in terms of these indicators that you see down here. I'm pretty sure that you can reset with this combo, and if you do reset, you need to get both these down smashes to work, wait just a split second, and then activate this skill to do the reset. It's a theory combo because the down smashes haven't procced back to back to me for me yet, so I haven't been able to test it properly. But feel free, if you guys can test it, if it works, that's awesome. Or try and make your own reset combo. You could definitely do reset combos on this class. I just haven't figured them out yet. But I think this may be one way to do it. But let's start off with the combo here. So we got Wave Pout into Tidal Slash, into Raging Torrent, into Wave Lash, into Storming Gale, into Crashing Wave and Squall. And then we're going to try and down smash with Overflow. We're going to try and then down smash with Wipeout. If both these down smashes come through, wait a split second, then do Wave Pout, Tidal Kiss, Tidal Slash, Raging Torrent, and then you're going to stun them with the Whirlpool as they're standing up. You might not be able to fit in the Tidal, so because this is theorized, this skill here might take too long, so you might have to do it like this instead. So do keep that in mind. Again, it's theorized. And then we're going to end up with Ocean's Melancholy and finish up with Ocean's Pearl for max damage. But that's the theory part. This part definitely works though, so I'll show you that in game. Guys, thank you very much for watching. If the video was helpful, do please leave a like. And if you find yourself coming to the channel quite often, do consider subscribing. I'm really enjoying Corsair, so I will have some more videos for her in the future. I'm almost finished with the grind. I've just got to get to 62 before I start really focusing on that PvP. But that being said, she does have some glaring issues. I'm going to do a feedback video for this class. I'm sure a lot of these will get patched out over time. There's some connections that need to be thought about and added in. There's just some slight tweaks to some skills that would definitely help her out. And we've still got 5 skills missing, which is definitely going to cover some of the gaps that she has at the minute. And there's the whole Awakening kit that I'm super excited to get my hands on. But until the next video, I'll catch you guys later.